On August 21st, the much anticipated album Abyss by Unleash the Archers will be released, and I had the chance to sit down with guitar player Grant. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Belgian Jasper, and today I'll be talking to GRANT TRUESDELL, who is one of the two guitar players of Unleash the Archers. Grant, thank you for your time today. Very much appreciate it. We obviously know you as one of the two guitar players in Unleash the Archers. At the same time, I know that you're a very busy guy and running your own label at the same time as well. Do you look at yourself as a musician first, or are you more of an entrepreneur that just loves heavy metal?
I view myself as a musician first, always kind of have been, and you know, with like the record label, it was, you know, just something that I wanted to. I felt like I wasn't giving enough to the metal scene. You know, I just want, you know, there's so many good undersigned and underground bands in our area that I just wanted to help out. Right, and just I realized it was a bigger fish to fry than I thought. Right, and so now the record label's not doing much. Like, we were going hard for about 2 or 3 years, and I've kind of like came to my own realization that I'm a guitarist. I'm not a business guy. I tried. my heart was in the right place, but it gave me way more appreciation for labels. I'll tell you that.
Now we're on the subject. Are there any bands in particular, any releases that you're really proud of that you feel like everybody watching this video should go check out straight away?
Yeah, man. Local band here from Vancouver called Terrifier. Really kind of old school thrash, but with a modern touch, and just like I said, the riffs are just, you know, on par with some of the best music that I believe is out there.
No, it's interesting. A lot of bands that are getting some traction right now are bands that make a mix of old school sounds, where it's thrash metal, early power metal, new wave of British heavy metal with a modern touch, and it's definitely something that we also see in Unleash the Archers. There's a lot of influences there. Let's first dive into, you know, I love your personal journey first, though. You were in a band called Lesbian Fist something?
Lesbian Fist Magnet, yeah.
Yes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was an old punk band. I started playing guitar, like I grew up kind of like a punk kid, you know. But as a guitar player, you know, I just kept, I kept wanting to challenge myself, and then obviously got into metal, and as a musician, I'm way more into metal, but you know, all my friends and stuff like that growing up were, you know, we were all just punk kids. We had a punk house, you know, 8 of us living in it, throwing shows in our basement. I used to play in an Iron Maiden tribute band called Power Clown, and Andrew and I, the guitarist in Unleash the Archers now, we've been playing together since we were 12. When we were like 12, we were both in this program called Weekend Warriors, where you could sign up as like an individual, young kid, and they would put you into a band, and Andrew was in one of the other bands, and I was like, "Ooh, that guy's a good guitarist." And like, we started hanging out, and we ended up starting a band together, and like, we've been playing since we were 12, and we had our previous band, Archon Legion. And then now in Unleash the Archers, it feels like all of those influences are coming together. I find it sometimes very, very funny when people try to describe the sound of Unleash the Archers, and you hear very creative things like neoclassical, proto-thrash, melodic power, stuff like that. What should we call it? Should we just call it metal? Yeah, just call it heavy metal. You know, we like to, you know, bend and incorporate different genres into our music, and I think one thing that people have come to accept is to expect the unexpected with us, and that's kind of what we want. You know, we don't want to be putting out the same album time after time, because we're growing as musicians, we're growing as music fans, we're listening to different things, and we continually want to evolve our sound. mainly just for a creative purpose, you know.
You were first helping them out, recording some solos for the second album, and then you became a full-time member, and eventually Andrew also joined. You already called out. How did that happen for you?
Right. So we were already good friends. Like, we'd already been on the road all together. So we were all living in Victoria. Unleash the Archers moved to Vancouver, and then Andrew and I's band broke up. And Unleash the Archers got rid of their old guitarist, and we're looking for a new guitarist, and messaged me to see if I wanted to come join. So I was a free agent. It was really good timing, and I came down. So they were just finishing Demons of the Asteroids when I came down. So I was like joining the band, but they were just like at the end of an album, like, hey, we got a couple spots, you can throw some solos on. I was like, okay, cool, you know, at least I'll kind of get on there.
That was not a guest stint, that was like you actually already joined for that.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of like, you know, the reason why with like in Dawn of Ages, I don't know if you've seen that, our very first music video with the Sasquatch.
Oh yeah.
That's like when I joined too, and like they had recorded the album, but I wasn't like really part of it. But like, hey, you can play the Sasquatch.
What was the for you as an actor, beyond just a musician? What was more challenging, playing Sasquatch or being very surprised how a black hole is pulling in your guitar during the Abyss video?
Yeah, there's been a lot of interesting acting having to be done in all of our videos. I think the getting sucked into the hole is a little harder because, yeah, the Sasquatch one, that was like super easy. You know, when you're behind a mask, you know, I can see your face. It's like, yeah, you're good to go. It was the same thing in Power Clown. Like, we dressed up like clowns when we played. We dressed up like clowns and played Iron Maiden. Yeah. And we all had cool clown names. Like, mine was Bruised Chicken Skin.
We mentioned, you know, the new video for the title track of the upcoming album, Abyss. There's been definitely some momentum, you know, Abyss having over or almost 1 million views now. I know that the first round of pre-orders was sold out in no time, but at the same time, we're all at home with COVID. So how are you experiencing this launch compared to any other launch that you see all this momentum at the same time? You're kind of stuck.
Yeah, it's really weird, man. Like, you know, we were supposed to be in Europe doing festivals, you know,
exactly.
Promoting all this right now. So it's kind of hard that way, but it's easy with the internet now to see the engagement and the reactions and the opinions and comments of all of our fans and anyone checking it out. You know, we write music for ourselves, but we also write music for, you know, for our fans. You know, they're as part of this journey as we are. So I take their comments and opinions into heart. We definitely have a very specific kind of direction we went with this record, and, you know, emotions that we try to evoke through it. And the next one will be a lot different, right? So if you don't like it, you know, just wait to the next album. we'll get back to what you like.
The success of the band very much accelerated with the last full album, and especially the Awakening video went pretty viral. I think there's over 9 million views now, and that was relatively shortly followed by the special cover EP. One of the songs on that album was, on the EP was Northwest Passage, which is a Canadian folk classic. But then again, that video went quite viral, and a lot of people really appreciated that. Does the band feel this pressure of like accelerate to, let's say, the major leagues of heavy metal with this release, or are you trying to stay away from that pressure whatsoever?
Personally, I don't really try to think about that. Okay. We put enough pressure on ourselves. It's us against ourselves, really, with that. You know, it's like we have to do something better. We have to do better than Apex, you know, just for our own selves. Otherwise, you know, we're like, oh, okay, we've hit our peak, and now we're just like on a downfall here. I know that we did do better than Apex. We left no stone unturned. This was the most like focused effort we've had put into an album.
Okay.
Where, you know, we took the first 6 months of 2019 off, came together in the last half of 2019 just to write Abyss. And we went to Denmark. We were there for a month, fully focused on the album. I believe like the story and how each song represents each part of the story was way more cohesive than Apex. Okay. Right, so I think it's a stronger effort and stronger album as a whole. So that's all we can do, you know. We can just try to do better than we did the last time.
I mean, there's 2 songs that have been released so far, and the reactions seem to be quite positive. So I know a lot of people are very eager for August 21st when the full album will be available.
I can't wait, man. Yeah, I can't wait because those 2 songs that we released are like the safe songs to release.
Okay, interesting.
That are like the closest to Apex.
They are a continuation of Apex for sure.
Yeah, we did a lot of things on this album that are like, whoa, they've never done this before.
Interesting.
And we didn't want to release those first to be like, oh, okay, these guys are going a completely different direction now.
Yeah.
Right. So like those are like the most similar to Apex. A little more like just straightforward standard songs.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for people to hear the rest of the album because it's not like that.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, I mean, we don't know much just now. Now we know that we have to really expand our imagination a little bit. Mm-hmm. We do know, Brittany said that recently that, in every song, Andrew takes the first solo, you take the second solo. Knowing how close you are with Andrew and playing with him for so long, are those things that you guys have in mind, certain structures going into the writing, or did that just happen?
Yeah, we realized that afterwards, actually.
Okay.
That wasn't planned really at all. It was only realized afterwards. Like, I don't know why we did that. Like, I guess it's okay. But no, it's cool because I like to not just write a standalone solo, so I could use things from what he had in his solo to kind of like mesh the 2 in styles so that they're not just 2 separate solos. It kind of becomes one piece and also just a part of the song itself. And that's something that we've always been conscious of as songwriters, is doing what's best for the song, not just to show off. Yeah. Scott, our drummer, is really good at that too. He knows when to sit back, and he knows when to shine. And that's something that we all try to do because we all have the potential to shine. So we want to give each other those moments. And especially with solos, like I usually try to sing my solo before I write it. Right, okay. So that it's more melodic, and then you kind of fill in the shred parts in between the important notes you want to hit.
Yeah.
So that's really important to me.
A lot of people say that the backbone of a song is the rhythm section, which generally speaking is the drum and the bass. With Unleash the Archers, for the time being, there's 4 people in the band, no bass player for some time. How is that, writing songs, creating songs without having, that bass player proactively there? How are you guys dealing with that gap in the band right now?
Yeah, I don't know, man. The bassist is a funny subject, It's a very talked about and mentioned topic online. We've had a revolving door bassist pretty much our whole career, so it's nothing new not having a bassist there. A lot of the times when we're getting things tight rhythm section wise, it's me and Scott. The bassist, it would be nice to have a solid guy, but it's easier said than done.
Sure. It's almost impossible to understate the importance of having a singer like Brittany in the band for your sound. She has quite the range and quite the power. How is that for you as a guitar player, one of the songwriters as well, and you're creating these songs together with Scott from scratch, knowing that you've got a singer you can really challenge? What's that like?
Oh, it's so nice, man. You don't have to write the most complicated riff all the time. You can just essentially, when you know it's a verse, a chorus, you can just create this canvas for Brittany to sing over, and that usually the more simpler the riff is, the more she gets to shine, because she's got more options for notes, and there's not going to be conflicting notes and things like that in there. So some of the best riffs and sections and songs are the most simplest on guitar, because she's able to just shine over it, and knowing that while writing is just such a treat, because it's she's just gonna nail it out of the park.
Yeah. And do you have to, like, whenever you think of a new song, keep a few seconds in the beginning of the song for the now signature Brittany scream?
Oh yeah.
So I want to go back just a second to that EP, the Travelers EP that you guys released in between Apex and Abyss. I had never heard the song Northwest Passage before I moved to Canada. I thought it was very interesting to see online and all over that song became so popular, and everybody was really embracing that song no matter where they were from. Did that surprise you that a Canadian folk classic became so popular? And on that note, are there other songs that the band is just toying around with that you'd like to record at one point?
Yeah, it was kind of surprising, actually. I mean, on one hand, it wasn't, because it's such a well-written song. Mm-hmm. It was so easy to make it sound good, because the lyrical themes, the phrasing, the melodies were already there. And that song was originally supposed to be a bonus track on Apex. Okay. But after we recorded it, we're like, this is too good to just be a bonus track. This needs a little more attention. Another one done by Stan Rogers, Barrett's Privateers. Yes. I think would be really cool.
And so you mentioned yourself, you were supposed to be doing European festivals right now. That obviously all got pushed back. You guys were on tour when you had to cut that short. I was supposed to see you guys play in the Toronto Opera House, which is a really great venue, maybe the best acoustics for sure in the city. The tour for Apex, you guys played in Toronto in the equally legendary but much smaller downtown venue called Velvet Underground. What are your thoughts on Canadian bands Canadian metal bands really having to struggle to get a broader audience in their own country?
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because we're way bigger elsewhere than we are in Vancouver. I don't know why that is, maybe because you're more of a novelty, you're not just this local band, it's way more special. In Europe, some of the tours we've done have been better, but it's always because we're on a bigger package. Yeah. So I can't really say what that would have been like if we did that in North America around the same time. Yeah, Europe is just more set up for this. I think they have maybe more people into it. But then again, you go to an Iron Maiden concert and it's a full arena. And it's where are all these people for the local shows? I guess we'll see. We're going to be doing our first European headline tour next year. So we'll be able
That's amazing.
Yeah, we'll be able to compare. We did our first real U.S. headline tour last year, or I guess the year before now, and that was really great for us. That was mind-blowing, really, compared to the last efforts we've had in the U.S. Okay. They're just and I think Apex definitely has a part to play in that. Just for us, a lot of the times we'd be they're just blending too many genres, it's like power metal, but then they got this melodic death thing going on, which I'm not into melodic death, I'm only into power metal. So but now that's working to our benefit, because
it's more unique.
Yeah. So at first it was holding us back, and now it's kind of our differentiating factor.
What's the next for you? What are some of the aspirations that you have?
I think we're gonna be doing another EP right away here. I can't really share too much about it, but it's gonna be heavy. We're gonna be doing a kind of a CD release show. So we're gonna be doing like an online concert at a local venue here, the Rickshaw, the day after the album release. So we're gonna be playing a bunch of the new songs from the album, and yeah, we'll keep doing that as often as we have to until we're able to tour again. Yep. But next year, 2021, is, if all goes as planned, is booked from February to November right now. So hopefully
slave style touring.
Yeah, slave to the grind.
Grant, I want to thank you so much for your time today. Very much appreciate it. We'll all look forward to the online release party, and then you'll just have to play the song and then check the comment section to see how everybody's reacting versus just hearing the roar of a crowd.
Yeah, I've got a good imagination, but maybe we'll get some those wacky inflatable arm flailing 2-man in the crowd there.
There you go.
Feel better.
There you go. Like they're doing with sports right now. Just fill the crowd with like pictures of people.
Yeah, man. Well, I just wanted to say thank you for following the band and being a supporter for so many years as well, for taking the time to do this with me.
My pleasure. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best with this.
Thank you. Take care.
You are awesome for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, click right here and subscribe to the channel.